welcome to our talk show, the Rajendra Mehta Show. And today we have our special guest with us, Mr. Raghavendra Prasad. So I would like to introduce Mr. Raghavendra Prasad to all of you. And today he'll share his knowledge with us and what are the different aspects of healthcare if you wanted to be in this domain, and then how you can approach, what are best practices he used to follow, and you can also be one of his follower as well. And so welcome Raghavendra, not giving a much awaited welcome to our talk show, and we would like to know about you more, so you can introduce yourself.
Sure. Thanks, Rajendra. It is a pleasure being on your show and nice to interact with people here and share my sense of experience with them to share my journey and my learning. So, to very quickly introduce myself, I'm a pharmacist by education. I've done my bachelor's and master's in pharmacy. Then I entered the field of consulting and analytics by chance, and then it has become a profession and a career for over a decade now. Now I have close to 12 years of experience in the
Oh,
industry, and I've been with several organizations in my recent past. I had opportunities to travel across multiple geographies through my career. I've been to US, Europe, to Singapore. At least I've been to major continents, at least to touch base and understand the cultures and variety to learn with. I'm originally from a place called as Bangarpet, which is 70-80 kilometers from Bangalore,
uh-huh.
and I've been in Bangalore since last 20 years.
That's great. So 12 years experience, and you most probably you said that you are into different continent, different countries. So a lot of things to learn from you, Raghavendra. So I would like to start with like how you started this journey. You said that you started into analytics by chance, but what was the motive? Any particular thing you would like to talk about?
Sure, definitely. Probably I'll address some of my fellow pharmacists because many people, when they choose pharmacy as a educational option, it is not always by their choice, because many people aspire to be doctors or dentists, and because of the lack of opportunities, because the the competition is so high that the number of seats are so less for medical and dental, that
Mhm.
people have to spend 2-3 years in their preparation, and still they fail to get to their aspiration. And then they reach out to their parents, their relatives, colleagues, and then they get an understanding that, okay, what else can I do in healthcare? Then pharma or physiotherapy or nursing becomes their backup options.
Okay.
So that was one of the options how I also got into pharmacy, because in my view, I could be wrong, but in my view, I would say that 2 to 5% people want to become pharmacists, unlike engineers or doctors, where you
Uh-huh.
see that 90%
Yeah.
are very clear they want to become engineers, right? So that's the background, and I want to address my fellow pharmacists that uh, consulting and analytics is one niche area which is kind of underrated in pharma industry and healthcare industry. That when I started back in 2008, we never knew that something like this existed, because the typical options for a pharmacist would be to go into medical rep,
Right.
open up your own pharmacy store,
Right.
or pursue further education
Right.
and get into an industry where you have to work in the production, manufacturing, and stuff like that. So beyond this, to work in a corporate environment, to work in an analytical environment with technology and tools, it's far of thought from the way the education is at least currently placed. So that's how I got to this uh, uh, industry, which is on the consulting and analytics side, where I got a small window to get into a peak and then understand what all is possible in this industry. And that's how I said I entered by chance, but I built a career out of it in the last decade or
A
so.
successful career, I would say. A
Absolutely.
successful career, yes. So let's say this is a question actually I'm having on behalf of my learner. Let's say if somebody wanted to be pursue a career in healthcare or in analytics, right? What according to you could be a pivot role of having experience in healthcare or knowing the domain knowledge of healthcare would be required? How much percentage out of 100 you will put as an analytics and as an healthcare domain. So what would be your view on that?
It's a bit tricky question to answer in a straightforward manner, but let me try to break it into two parts.
Okay.
Let me take this way and ask the question inverted to you. So if you want to play cricket, do you want to get into batting or into bowling, or you want to get into wicket keeping, or you want to be an all-rounder, right? So
Right.
it's a personal choice which you have to make to understand how much proportion should I know this concepts on a data science, on a technical side, or on the
Right.
healthcare domain. But I believe that having the analytical bent of mind, having that curiosity to know things why they are,
Okay.
how they are, why they are, and how can you know and how can you solve. So let's say you get into a pharmacy and then you see something happening. Let's say the typical way I look at a pharmacy is that you get into a retail store, you go with a prescription.
Right.
Now there's no requirement for you to be educated to understand what happens.
Right.
But as a layman, you can see and observe and understand what's happening. Now, from a data science perspective, from a healthcare professional, healthcare background perspective, taking this pharmacy as an example, now a simple prescription gets recorded
Right.
in an US context or in a global context. But in an Indian context, if you take any chain pharmacy like Apollo or MedLife or MedPlus or anywhere, so this gets recorded, means they will give you a bill for sure. Unlike in a single door pharmacy where, or a retail pharmacy, they may give a bill or may not give. So it's getting recorded. So something is getting stored. So the data is in a structured way getting stored somewhere, but can we make sense out of it? Is it for what kind of medication, what kind of reason is the patient getting dispensed? So when you're going on the road, if you can think of something on these lines, I gave the pharmacy as one example, but there could be tons of examples where you can visualize and
Right.
observe and have that curiosity to understand what kind of things are happening in the back end and what kind of solution can you innovate.
Right. Okay. So solution could be the approach, right? How you are observing the thing, right? If you wish, you can get it, right? That's what your simple answer to this question. Or that's a beautiful answer I got so far, I would say, where domain and tools and technology come into the picture. That is very beautifully you explain it. So coming back to again into this particular industry, so do you let's say invest a little bit time on your learnings, on your journey so far, let's say per day, 1 hour, 2 hour, or on a weekly basis, or you upgrade yourself on daily basis? Like, how you become into data science, I would say. So what was the your thought process on that? So a learner can get a fair idea about that. So if they wanted to pursue a career, they can get a guideline from it.
Absolutely. I'll go back to the example of this cricket, because
Yeah.
cricket was one of my favorite hobbies in
Okay.
childhood, and even when I get some time, I'll play with it. So taking this example of cricket and education, let's say math or chemistry, because these are the two commonly hated subjects among most of the people, right? So if you ask a person to play cricket and he is interested, the obvious answer is chalo khelte hain.
Right.
But on the other side, when you want to do the padai on chemistry or math, and if you hate it, no matter how interesting the lecturer is or the subject is, your response is kal karte hai, yeah, we'll do it tomorrow or sometime later, right? So data science is also a field which is fascinating. Just to caveat out, I'm not a data science expert per se, but I have good exposure to data science. I may not do it on a day-to-day basis, but I have good adequate exposure to understand the concepts well. Okay. So the simple things what as a fresher can learn is the Excel, because now Excel is so powerful that you can do as many things as possible, which multiple other technology and tools can.
Right.
And it's most underrated tool if you ask me, because when you say data science, people think only about SAS, SQL, R, Python, all the new fancy stuff. But yes, they're also needed. I'm not saying that they are not needed. But the simple roadblock, like for a carbohydrate, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and glucose are the building blocks.
Right.
If you take these building blocks, then you can build a multi-story building, you can build a Burj Khalifa, or you can build anything as you want. So building blocks are essential to understand. As I said, if you understand the components, the simple components, tools and technologies are ways and means to address the solution.
Okay.
But solution has to come from a perspective on how to solve a problem.
Right.
Right. So I would say that the answer for how long you should practice is that if you go to the nets and if you have observed or read Sachin or Dravid, they don't count hours or balls.
Right.
They just play till they get tired. So in my view, the answer is for young professionals who want to pursue a career in data science. If you have the analytical bent of mind, if you have the curiosity, if you have the willingness to learn, if you have that attitude, I think the number of hours per week or per month is only a metric to measure. But I think whatever you can grasp and implement is equally important than the number of hours you put into training or practice.
That's awesome answer. Actually, everybody would be looking for that answer. If you have an interest, if you have that mindset, if you have a willingness to be in data science, of course, there are going to be n number of opportunities which are waiting for you. So you rightly said that. So again, coming into this particular question, preceding question I am having is, let's say if somebody wanted to be, in this particular industry, and if they are looking for a placement or they're looking for a job, what could be their approach towards that? Is there any particular thing being as in, senior management or as a company would be looking into them? Is there any some prerequisite for them which you can address to a learner?
Very good question. Placements is one of the hot topics nowadays because all campuses, all colleges are behind placements, right? 100% placement guaranteed, assurance.
Right.
And I come from a tier two town city where I did not have much of the background exposure. Though I studied in Bangalore, at least the couple of colleges I studied, we don't have campus placements.
Okay.
One thing I would educate all of us and myself is that have a very good network, either from your alumni, from your college, from your seniors, through your lecturer groups, through your professor groups. Have a very good profile on LinkedIn or your social media profile and connect with like-minded communities. If you want to pursue in data science or in healthcare or both or something else, the best way to start is to have a good network. It could be starting with 5 good friends and 5 good seniors, then they can connect you to it. That gets multiplied, right? It becomes an to the power n, because the number of people whom you connect and they get connected, it becomes phenomenal. The second thing I would recommend is to have a very good resume, which you can start to build with. There are multiple portals today available to create one and curate one and do stuff.
Right.
The third thing is to pursue internships. Even if they are paid or unpaid, it doesn't matter. It's irrespective, or I would say, if you have a financial challenge, that's absolutely a thing to address. But let's say you don't have a financial obligation at this moment, or you can work that extra mile to offer that internship for free, or look for paid internships, so that becomes a starting point for you to look out for opportunities.
Right.
So to summarize, networking with your college alumni, with your faculty, etc. Second, having a good LinkedIn profile, building up a good resume, looking for great internships. I think these 3-4 things, if you can do as a starting point, then I think you will definitely stand out from the crowd and you will differentiate yourself from what you were 1 year ago to what you are 1 year into the program or looking forward for the job opportunities.
This is really amazing answer. I would say this is of course gonna help a lot of learners, lot of students who are gonna watch this, and of course it's gonna be open up their mind towards what could be the best practices or what could be the things they should do as an started to get recruited into the different companies or different organization. You wisely give that I would say solution to a learner. Moving to the next point, let's say if you are having pretty much good experience of 12 years, and if you wanted to suggest somebody, right, what they can do to pursue a career, a successful career, so a piece of advice to all learners, what you can, what you would like to, share as a piece of advice to them?
Have a childlike attitude. Don't be childish. Have a childlike attitude. For example, I have two children, two kids, two sons at home. One is 8.5 years and one is 3.5 years.
Uh-huh.
So the number of questions and the number of times they ask why is so overwhelming that we sometimes wonder, why don't I ask these kind of questions?
Uh-huh.
Right? So when you try to ask this five whys as a question,
Yeah.
any question or situation you face, ask this 5 times why, then you get to the root cause of it or to the bottom of it to understand what was the point.
Yeah.
So the message I'm trying to give here is that if you want to pursue career in anything for that matter, get your why strong. Why do you want to pursue data science, or why you want to
Right.
be in healthcare plus data science? Get that why strong and clear.
Right.
Then it becomes easy for you to figure out a way. It's like I want to go to Pune or Chennai or Hyderabad now, because it's SaaS, SQL, technology, Power BI, a lot of things are there. So for me, if you ask, these are different locations. Now you at least you define what location you want to be.
Right.
Then you can figure out, do you want to walk, run, jog, go by a bike or a car or a plane? Then you can figure out the means to reach that place.
Right. Interesting. So I really appreciate it was quite a fruitful talk. We talked about the recruitment. We talked about what different skill set anybody would have. We talked about, your piece of advice from you, that if somebody wanted to pursue a career, how they can do that. So just conclude that there is a no road blocker for anyone who wanted to pursue a career in data science. They can definitely do that. They should have that mindset and attitude, as you said, that be like a child, learn like a child, right? Answer why after any thing you wanted to do, right? You will get the answer for it, right? So, and you will be reached to the right destination.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it was really nice connecting with you, and I heartily thankful to you, Mr. Raghavendra, to coming to our talk show and providing your valuable time and insight about healthcare analytics and about your career journey. We really thankful to you, and we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Rajendra. In fact, you're doing a great job to help a lot of thousands and millions of life in the near future, where they will be grateful to you and to your service which you're offering. Which is, let's say, if I were, if I put myself 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and if I had someone like this to guide, to at least to view and watch and get a guidance, indirect guidance on this kind of platform, it would be an immense pleasure and immense help for anyone. So I think. As a something to give back to the society, I think is a wonderful opportunity for us in small ways to contribute in such a way that the younger generation gets benefit from our wealth of information.
Thank you so much for those kind words, and we'll definitely keep working upon that. And if any of learners or any of data science aspiration, they do have any questions, query, they can definitely reach out to us on LinkedIn, or they can put their doubts, query, concern on comment section, and we will try to reach out to you as soon as possible. So thank you so much everyone for watching the show, and thank you so much, Mr. Raghavendra. Once again, heartily thankful to you, and happy new year to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajendra. Happy New Year and good signing off.
Thank you.